भागवत सेवया भगवतेरुत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto. नारदस्तदुपाकर्ण्य ज्ञात्वा तस्य चिकीर्षितम् स्मृत्वा मूर्धनि अग्नेन पाणिना प्राह विस्मितः। नारद तदुपाकर्ण्य ज्ञात्वा तस्य चिकीर्षितम् स्पृष्ट्वा मूर्धनि अग्नेन पाणिना प्राह विस्मिता। नारद तदुपाकर्ण्य ज्ञात्वा तस्य चिकीर्षितम् स्पृष्ट्वा मूर्धनि अग्नेन पाणिना प्राह विस्मितः। ज्ञात्वा तस्य चिकीर्षितम् स्पृष्ट्वा मूर्धनि अग्नेन पाणिना प्राह विस्मितः। नारद तदुपाकर्ण्य ज्ञात्वा तस्य चिकीर्षितम् स्पृष्ट्वा मूर्धनि नारदस्तदुपाकर्ण्य ज्ञात्वा तस्य चिकीर्षितम् स्पृष्ट्वा मूर्धनि अग्नेन पाणिना प्राह विस्मितः। Word to word meaning translation, but quote by Divine Grace, it's Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Word to word meaning, Naradaha, the great says Narad, Tat, that, Upakarnya, overhearing, Jnatva, and knowing, Tasya, his, through Maharajas, Chikirshitam, activities, Sprishtva, by touching, Murdhani, on the head, Agagnena, which can drive away all sinful activities, Panina, by the hand, Praha, said, Vismita, being surprised. Translation. The great saint Narad overheard this news, and understanding all the activities of Dhruva Maharaj, he was struck with wonder. He approached Dhruva and touching the boy's head with his all virtuous hand, he spoke as follows. But when Dhruva Maharaj was talking with his mother, Suniti, of all the incidents that had taken place in the palace, Narad was not present. Thus, the question may be raised, how Narada overheard all these topics? The answer is that Narada is Trikala. He is so powerful that he can understand the past, future, and present of everyone's heart. Just like a super soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, after understanding the strong determination of Dhruva Maharaj, Narada came to help him. It may be explained in this way. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in everyone's heart, and as soon as he understands that a living entity is serious about entering devotional service, He sends his representative. In this way, Narada was sent to Dhruva Maharaj. This is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Guru Krishna Prasade by Bhakti Lata Beach. By the grace of the spiritual master and Krishna, one can enter into devotional service. Because of Dhruva Maharaja's determination, Krishna, the super soul, immediately sent his representative Narada to initiate. Can you repeat after the translation? The great says Narada overheard this news and understanding all the activities of Dhruva Maharaj, he was struck with wonder. He approached Dhruva and touching the boy's head with his all virtuous hand, he spoke as follows. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sahagana Tam Tam Sadi Sarvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lita Shri Vishakhantanscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashadeshatarne Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namo Tapta Kancana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Hari वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I welcome everyone for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. I also seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas here, so we can have some discussion for where here Narada Muni is coming into picture. So here Narada Muni is appearing in front of Dhruva Maharaj. So very, very auspicious. In fact, That is the most auspicious moment for any jiva to come in touch with a devotee of the Lord, a bona fide Vaishnava. That brings the all auspiciousness in the life of any conditioned soul. Till the time a conditioned soul comes across the pure devotee of the Lord, he continues in this miserable existence of cycle birth. But only when he gets this auspicious connection, the encounter with the pure devotee, that makes his life completely auspicious. That's why he says, Brahmande Namite Kono Bhagyavan. Guru Krishna Prasadepaya Bhakti Lakarni. After wandering in so many lives, some fortunate soul, very rare opportunity, some fortunate soul, Brahmanda Namite Kono Bhagyavan, Guru Krishna Prasadepaya. Then he comes in touch with the bona fide master. And then he gets Bhakti Lata. And that's how he can further he gets engaged in devotional service of the Lord, and then he can progress swiftly in his Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Charitamrita also is very famous verse which says, Kam Krodhera Das Hoy, Tar Lati. Because of becoming slave of Kam and Krodh, the conditioned soul is getting so much of beating, so much of suffering. Kam Krodhera Das Hoy, Tar Lati. Bhamite, Sadhu Vedipaya, and some other wandering like this in this material existence, if he comes across sadhu, pure devotee, and who is compared to Ved, sadhu Tar Upadesha Mantra, Pishachi Palaya. Because the sadhu, what he will do, he will give medicine, he will give mantra, and he will also give the instructions. Tar Upadesha Mantra, he will give the instructions, and he will also give him the medicine of the holy name. And then Maya will work. Krishna Bhakti Paya Tabe Krishna Nakade. And then immediately one gets full understanding of devotional service. And one gets determination in engaging in devotional service. He gets clear Prabhupada and therefore he gets entrance. He can enter into devotional service. This is challenge. So here he says, a living entity is serious about entering into devotion. That's how we get the entrance by the mercy of pure devotee. Krishna Bhakti Paya Tabhi Krishna Nikataya. So he gets the engagement in devotional service, and the nature of engaging in devotional service is anybody engages in devotional service, he will immediately can attain Krishna. He'll attain Krishna for sure. So this is the way. So whole Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita is actually concluding with this point, that we all need sadhu in our life, pure devotee, pure one by spiritual master, because of whose mercy we can engage in devotional service. And when we engage in devotional service, then we can attain Krishna. So this is the whole program. So the most auspicious thing is to have pure devotee in our life. And we are all fortunate that we have so many pure devotees in our lives. Srila Prabhupada is a bona fide pure representative of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna. And he has created the facility in ISKCON to have association of so many pure devotees. So we are so fortunate that we have ample opportunity to perfect our life. If we just take this opportunity with great sincerity. So here you can see Srila Dhruva Maharaj is also so sincere. So this both things becomes very important. So we have a bona fide spiritual master, and we have a disciple who is very sincere. So by the combination of a bona fide spiritual master and a sincere disciple, there will be perfection attained. Actually, we see the example of Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj. Sukadeva Goswami is bona fide spiritual master, and Parikshit Maharaj is very qualified disciple, so eager to hear, so eager to submit himself. So then you can see that how it's benefiting everyone. Arjuna, is a bona fide disciple, and then Krishna is a bona fide spiritual master. Devati was a bona fide disciple, and Kardamuni was a bona fide spiritual master. So you can see this, sometimes bona fide spiritual master is not there, then it becomes very challenging. And if bona fide spiritual master is there, but if disciple is not sincere, then also his advancement gets delayed. So, so we all have that fortune of having qualified spiritual master. So, it's very important for us also to become very sincere, like Guru Maharaj. That's why Srila Prabhupada, and actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it here Dhruv Charit and Prahlad Charit so many times. Because we can see from the life of Guru Maharaj how sincere he was, how determined he was. Father, Hare Krishna. That's fine. Hare Krishna. So Dhruv Maharaj is so much glorified for his determination, for his sincerity. How sincere. In fact, it's also mentioned that Narada Muni, he when he came, when checking his seriousness, testing. So it is said that one of our spiritual master will sometimes test his disciple, how sincere he is about attaining perfection. So, and then once spiritual master is pleased, then he will offer him all the guidance and instructions and mercy by which the disciple can perfect. So the seriousness from the side of Dhruv Maharaj is so much seen in his whole episode. So actually, this journey in Krishna consciousness that requires that kind of seriousness and sincerity from beginning. Like when we come to devotional path, we know that when we came to some program, there were so many people around with us. Like when we attended Discover Yourself classes first time, there were so many boys, so many were there. But not everybody stayed further. Some of them did Discover Yourself course, but then later, they did not join Sankalpa camp. Some did attend Sankalpa. So it's always like Radhesham was like a pyramid. So why? Because not everybody, continues to be sincere. Many times, people may have some sincerity, so they get some association. But then one has to continuously be sincere and seeking Krishna all throughout. And that's how we keep progressing in our spiritual journey. And we see that in the beginning we make a lot of advancement because we have just got so much of fresh realization of the futility of material existence to some extent. Sometimes some beatings somebody must have got, somebody must have got some frustration, some kind of disgust, or he may be seeking some way, some sincerity might be there. So they may come in touch with devotees. But then after some time, one may again get carried away because Maya is always working. Maya always try to pull away. And the person may again go back to material existence because he has Komal Shraddha. His faith is not that strong and he is not that way seeking. So that's why many may actually come and then they go also from the path of Krishna consciousness. Of course, if somebody has come and done little devotional service, it's for their permanent benefit. Krishna will make some arrangement for them, by which eventually they can come back. But the point is to keep progressing in Krishna consciousness, we need that kind of seriousness and sincerity to keep progressing like that. So, and we see that even after that also somebody may shift to association or devotee, he may stay, get trained. But you've seen even after staying 4 years also sometimes they go. And sometimes they go away in a way that they're not there only. Sometimes it happens like that. So at different stages, different times, you can see how the illusion energy of the Lord, which is so powerful, may take one, start one from this glorious path of devotional service. So till we attain perfection of life, actually Krishna consciousness is, it demands that kind of seriousness and sincerity. Of course, Krishna being very merciful, even if sometimes we may lack some sincerity and seriousness, we have some sincerity and seriousness. Krishna may make arrangement, but the point is that why to delay? Basically, it gets delayed. When we lack seriousness, we get distracted, we get detoured, and then we get delayed in our attaining perfection of life. So Dhruv Maharaj is actually, this whole episode is teaching that how one can very swiftly attain the Supreme Lord. Don't delay, don't unnecessarily postpone, and take up seriously on urgent basis Krishna consciousness, and be very sincere and serious in this path. Because the whole thing about taking up Krishna consciousness seriously and sincerely and urgent basis is what Prabhupada stressed on. Because the thing is, that way sometimes people may say, ultimately, सबको भगवान के पास ही जाना है. Everybody has to go to home only, go back home, back to God only. So whenever God will desire, we will go. So people sometimes have that idea also. Like when devotee, senior devotee, brahmachari, when he's telling his father says, we are anyway born on body and soul, and anyway we have relations with Krishna. So even if I die, no problem, because the soul is eternal, Krishna is also eternal. Some life I will go to Krishna. So that's not a very good attitude which Prabhupada would appreciate. Yeah, we will surely attain perfection some life, but we can just go on and on and on and on and on and on in this material. That can go on for a long time. Anadi karma, body maya. We have been in this material world so many lifetimes. That means we have a tendency to continue in material existence. We have a tendency. So we can go on. So the Prabhupada said it's a risk. It's a risk actually. If you don't perfect your life in this life, then there's a risk always. So why to postpone? Why to delay? So Krishna is always there to deliver us, but why should we postpone? That's not a very good student, not a very good student in the school of Krishna. Or, I mean, any candidate, that will not be proper from his side. So what I'm saying is that so we have to be seeking Krishna and with very great sincerity and seriousness all throughout our journey like that. So all of us can remember, like when we just came to Krishna consciousness, how we were seeking, we were inquiring, we were wanting to practice, we were taking up chanting holy name. So we can see how we were seeking somewhat, and then we made a lot of advancement also. Made a lot of advancement. But eventually, many devotees they say that after some years, then they find that Krishna consciousness will become stagnant. That kind of complaint they do. Prabhu becomes very monotonous, and we experience some kind of complacency in Krishna consciousness. So then, and here Raghava Kripa also explains that when we are engaging in devotional service, so many things are happening. Devotee also starts becoming better, his mind and heart. Many things will happen, and also we will get many facilities also. People may start respecting us. We get many facilities in devotional service, and we may get certain positions in the society of devotees, some recognition, things like that. Many things, may devotional service may offer also. But these things, becomes as a byproduct of devotional service. These things become, and there's a tendency, if you are not seriously seeking Krishna all throughout, then we can become complacent. There is a possibility to become complacent if you are not always seeking Krishna. Because the job of Maya is to somehow distract us. Maya is going to be there to distract, and Krishna is always there to help. Spiritual master is always there to help. So sometimes, we are not so careful and cautious, then we may fail to even take help of Guru and Krishna, and then we may unnecessarily delay, we may get distracted. So Prabhupada writes, there are so many people, very stalwarts also have got betrayed from this glorious path because of the allurement of money and women and things, etc. Like that. So that's why, Shura Siddhara, Durgam Padasti. This path is considered to be difficult path also in the scriptures. Other day we were discussing the path of devotional is difficult or easy. We had whole class discussion on that one. So we discussed that how, from one perspective, this path is difficult also because it requires some sincerity of purpose, like that. So, so one has to see Krishna all throughout his journey, and in fact, one has to see Krishna more strongly as one progresses, because Maya's force also becomes stronger. As the jiva wants to go back to Krishna, and he becomes more and more desirous of that. So the intensity of attack of Maya's force also for that living entity who's trying to escape this material energy. But Maya is always alert. This person is really becoming very serious. So she wants to capture that living entity with greater force also. So that's why as we grow in our Krishna consciousness, much more seriousness and sincerity is demanded. Much more seriousness and sincerity is required for us to keep progressing in this glorious path of devotion. Right? So, when we have spent 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we have to know that we have greater responsibility to see Krishna. So, whether my enthusiasm for Krishna, my enthusiasm for chanting, my enthusiasm for reading, my enthusiasm for devotion, is it increasing or it is becoming lesser? We have to see that. Whether I am more enthusiastic to take initiative in my Krishna Mastery, am I becoming more and more appreciative of my superiors? Do I feel more dependency on my superiors for my spiritual advancement? Or I feel that I am okay in my own space. I'm independently fine. I can walk out my journey. So, am I becoming more and more confident, and am I becoming more and more serious in my execution of devotion service, chanting, Srimad Bhagavatam classes? So these things have to seriously reflect on, because as the number of years are passing, these things naturally has to increase, as I said, because the more one is grown up, the more one is going forward in journey, the Maya is more there to capture. And generally, when somebody is having that mood that I don't know much, I'm so much in Maya, I have to really get shelter of the Lord. So that many times we are more inclined to take shelter. So then we are more safe. But as we grow, then there is the Maya may also make that kind of feeling. Now we are already know a lot. I have understood what devotion is. I know what is this journey about. And then one may become complacent within. Externally, one may not, it may not be seen much. But within, there is some complacency which is creeping in. And then the chanting is still may go on. Mangalati and still may go on. Services still may go on. But internally, one is not connecting much. Internally, that connection is getting not that strong. Which one might be doing in the beginning more sometimes. Because he feels that he doesn't have Hare Krishna with him. He doesn't know much. Like the boys sometimes come for the classes, they're coming with the notes and everything. What Puji, what is that? And then so many questions. They will have so many questions to ask. But out of some time, we don't get any questions also because we know everything. So sometimes we are not that seeking Krishna the way we might be seeking Krishna. So this can happen to a sadhaka. This stage can be there in sadhaka life. So it is important for us to keep ourselves lively, Krishna consciousness, to keep seeking Krishna at all stages of life, seeking Krishna. And you can see in the life how Dhruva Maharaj was seeking Krishna. Here Narada Muni is testing and studying. Now here Mayadevi is not appearing, but Narada Muni himself, his guru, he is testing him. A small boy, go back to your palace. This as a kid, he's not take these words so seriously. And forest, the wild animals and all, not so good also, dangerous. So he tried to, tell him that to go back. No need to worry too much. You can worship Krishna at your home only and see later how you can attain Krishna. But he was so determined. No, there's no Krishna. Nothing else. I was seeking Krishna so strong that way. And he got that eventually, the direction from Narada Muni. He got the mantra, he got the process of deity worship. And then he took it up so seriously. We see how his austerities kept on increasing. What austerity was being in the beginning, and if you see, progressively the austerity became more or less. More. It became more and more and more. And it became pinnacle. When the whole universe, everybody was getting choked up. Because Dhruva Maharaj was so much being austerity. He was not even breathing. And the whole the earth was getting pierced. The earth was not able to bear the weight also because the Lord himself, actually was there in his heart so strong. It became so heavy. Was like so heavy for the earth. And then eventually the demigods, they were afraid, their ratings propagated and therefore Brahman and Brahman the Lord, and Lord actually comes. And then he gets darshan to Dhruva Maharaj. That's how he gets darshan from the Lord. So, of course, we may not have to do that kind of austerity. Stop our food and this and that. But the point is, our absorption in Krishna has to increase more and devotional austerities in terms of becoming more and more serious and sincere in Krishna consciousness. That kind of sincerity and seriousness is demand. So why I am saying that progressively you see how Guru Maharaj was austerity increased. Basically, our intensity also has to increase as we progress in devotional service. Our intensity naturally should increase more and more as we make advancement, as we go ahead in this journey, glorious path. So Guru Maharaj, we can clearly see how he was not at all, complacent in his entire journey. No complacency at all. He was so much determined till he attains the Supreme Lord. And 6 months he attained it like that. So, and that's what Prabhupada also would inspire all the disciples and all of us. That's what he's telling, that finish your life in one, finish this whole entire business in one life. Don't delay, don't be complacent. So that kind of seriousness and sincerity can make us, attain the Supreme Lord in this one life also. That's there. So another, which is one thing, which I was talking about determination and intensity. Another aspect is, Chaitanya Charitamrita also says that if anybody comes to Krishna, he's very auspicious. It is satisfying. So, I heard in, and it is there, it is there. It is Punpati. I will put so many tests. So she will test the sincerity. Very good. No, that is there. Maya's influence reduced, but Maya's newer and newer tests will be there. More difficult tests. Like say Haridas Thakur, prostitute came in, then Maya Devi herself came in this. So strength also increases. So the Maya's lower attacks, you will become immune to that. You will not get much. That's what we ask for that. But Maya will test in a different way. Will become more subtle. Maharaj also says, the fight becomes more subtle and subtle. Grossly Maya will not, because Maya will not smoke, drink, that one. Same way after some years, gross things may not be there much. It may be there, may not be there much. Because devotee is able to go ahead. So that way you are getting free from the influence of Maya. That is good only. That is true because you are taking shelter of the Maya. But that does not mean you can compensate. Because Maya is says that even in the time of death also, somebody else attains so much. Say, from 1 year, no, I will still say, want me? Krishna is also. So Bharat Maharaj, this way Bharat Maharaj example is given. Even he was there in the preliminary stage of bhava, even then also he was vulnerable. So that means there are always vulnerabilities. So that doesn't mean that we become hopeless. That means understanding I'm vulnerable to Maya, and Maya may be planning something. What Maya is planning next, we don't know. So I equip myself by taking shelter of Krishna Maharaj. So it's very easy and sublime path. It's not like you have to be very fearful like a trauma. Not be complete. But we should not be complete. That's why it is. Because Maya is always planning. That is her thankless job. To make sure that only those who are really wanting Krishna come. And Krishna helps us. In the entire process, Krishna helps. Guru helps. We get so many helps. Krishna is more eager for us to come back. Krishna is helping always. But we, sadhaka is, the devotees always want that, always have that religion, always. That's why Prabhupada says, no, I'm always praying because mind is very powerful. So Prabhupada is confident, but is equally alert also. So his great Chaitanya was telling in a lecture that, the liberated souls are liberated because they are alert. They're always alert. The Maya is very powerful. So they're always taking shifting. So this is there. If one takes to Krishna consciousness, the beginning there will be so many disturbances called Maya. But energy of illusion. Maya will test us with how familiar it makes with Krishna consciousness. Because she is also agent of Krishna. She does not allow anyone the freedom to disturb Krishna. Therefore, she tests very rigidly to see whether we have taken to Krishna consciousness. Disturb Krishna or actually serious. That is Maya's business. So he's saying in the beginning there will be a test by Maya. We shall feel so many disturbances while making progress. But if we follow, so disturbances goes away in the sense that because you're getting more fixed in shelter. But Maya is always planning to be. Devotee may not feel disturbance because of his formality, serenity is going on taking shelter. But if we become complacent, the Maya is always there. She is planning, her net will change. Now, when we become complacent, we may not get trapped by Maya with the previous test what she has put. You will not get. But she has something ready for you. Just become complacent. Just say, yes, it's Maya, I'm ready to, I'm there for you. Immediately she has a powerful trap to take us at that time also. So that's why Maya is always planning, newer and newer. It's trap. So seeing, if he is saying this also. But if we follow the rules and regulations, chant regularly as prescribed, then we shall remain steady. But if we neglect these principles, Maya will capture us immediately. Maya is always ready. We are in the ocean, and at any moment we may be disturbed. Therefore, one who is not at all disturbed at all is called Paramahamsa. The Paramahamsa is Paramahamsa because he is so alert also. And there is one lecture also, Guru Maharaj. He says about this, how the fight becomes most. Maya knows the ins and outs. Then eventually the fight becomes more subtle also. He says that how what we get because of performing devotional service, that may only become power. Maya can use that also, for happiness. So here he says that anybody who comes to devotional service, it says here, due to bad association, the living entity desires material happiness, liberation, or merging into impersonal aspect of the Lord. So this is how conditioned soul will desire other things. He will desire some material happiness, liberation, or merging into impersonal aspect of the Lord. So this is how, in general, any conditioned soul will desire, or attending mystic yoga. But if this person is actually, when he becomes intelligent, then he comes to Krishna consciousness by engaging himself in intense devotional service to Lord Shri Krishna. That's why Jai Bhare Krishna, Sevada Chatur. But when he comes to Krishna consciousness, or when he comes to Krishna, so whether one desires everything or nothing, or whether he desires to merge into existence of the Lord, Kamos or Kamos, some that person there. So he is intelligent only if he worships Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. So that is one sign of intelligence, that not going to demigods, but coming to Krishna. That is the first step in being intelligent. But then, further, if those who desire material enjoyment or merge into the existence of the absolute truth, engage in Lord's transcendental loving service, they will immediately attain shelter at Krishna's lotus feet, although they did not ask for it. Krishna is therefore very much. So from Krishna's side, Krishna is ready to help the living entity to come to the right platform. So that's why he says, Krishna ka hai ama bhaje, maage vishay sukha. Amrit chhadi vishay mange, ek bada dukh tha. Krishna says, if one engages in my transcendental living service, but at the same time wants the opulence of material enjoyment, is very, very foolish. Indeed, is just like a person who gives up ambrosia to drink poison. Then he says, Ami Vikya, Aim Murtha, Vishai Kendadipa, Sachanamridya, Shimpipa. Since I am very intelligent, why should I give this fool material prosperity? Indeed, I shall induce him to take the nectar of the shelter of my feet and make him forget misery material enjoyment. When this happens, when the devotees seriously engage in devotion. So he has got a bona fide devotee, and he has got the bona fide process of devotional service, and he is sincerely engaging in devotion. So that itself purifies. When Krishna acts, because Krishna is a sincerity, he determined. Just like Guru Maharaj's case was. He was very serious. There's another example of one Alvar, Tirungai Alvar, I think. And so he was attracted to one lady, and Kumada Devi or something. So then, so what happened? So she was attracted, and she was a devotee, great Vaishnava. So that time he was not Alvar, so he was very attracted. I mean, he's a great soul, but maybe passing. And then this lady told, he proposed that I want to marry you. She proposed that you can marry me only after you become a Vaishnava and serve the Vaishnavas for 1 year. 1 year you serve the Vaishnavas. And then this person took up service to Vaishnava. He said, okay, for you I will do anything to get you. So he, then started serving the Vaishnavas every day. Thousands of Vaishnavas he would serve prasadam. And it is also somewhere it is mentioned that he also wash their feet and take the, drink the Sharanamrit and also take the remnants which is remaining from that Vaishnavas. So like that he was serving. And he kept on serving so much. And for serving so much money is required. So whatever money he had, slowly is getting exhausted. And almost like 1 year was passing, and his money already getting exhausted. And then he thought, how will I get more money now? Because I want to serve the Vaishnavas. So actually he has developed taste now, serve the Vaishnavas. So 1 year is getting over, still he is thinking about continuing service. I think I need more money. So even though term was over, but he became attached to serving Vaishnava now. So he started robbing because he knew what. He told no matter what, I have to serve the Vaishnava. So he started robbing and looting people. And whatever money was there, and he was serving. And he was going on serving. 1 year already crossed, but he was going on serving. And he forgot only for what purpose he was serving. Because he was so much in serving Vaishnava. And then finally, when he was serving like this, he was not, then he was trying to loot, and he was not getting somebody to loot also. And suddenly, there's one bride and bridegroom, freshly married, they were going. And then he found so many jewelries are there, and immediately said, no, and he came to loot them. And then they themselves started giving, take, you're serving Vaishnava. And then actually, one particular ornament was not going out from Mother Lakshmi. Somebody said, touring, somebody said. So then, he was not able to take out that. And then eventually, they revealed that Lakshmi Narayan only. So Lakshmi Narayan themselves came because they were so pleased that he's serving the Vaishnavas, they're not getting well, so we ourselves will come. And they came, and that's how, so he got perfection of his life, he became Alvar actually. So he forgot only that, for what purpose he came. So you can see that, So Lord, how? Because he was very sincere, he was very determined. Very determined way he engaged, very great sincerity, he served the Vaishnava. Even though he had ulterior goals, he got purified because Krishna sees how he is sincerely engaging. So that is very important. So, of course, when he was serving the Vaishnava, then he was also hearing because Vaishnava will always keep glorifying the Lord. So he was hearing, so all his motives and everything got purified in serving and hearing, like that. So same way, when we come to devotee association, because of devotees' influence, because they are carrying the pure, motives, and because they bless us, so we get purified. Like one brahmachari in Pune, so he joined, and then his father came. He told that, chalo, I'll take you. You cannot join. He said, no, I'll stay here only. And said, okay, if you're not going, I'll also stay with you, and I'll see till when you stay. And I'll take you back, for sure. And he said, I'm not going only. I'll stay here only, no matter what you do. And somehow, devotees have to accommodate. I don't know where he stayed in the beginning, in the guest house. Outside he stayed. And every day he told, I will do everything and I'll prove you that home also can do the same thing. and I will, you tell you, and I'll take you back home. And so he was also started coming to Mangalarti, started chanting everything, so that he gets his son back. Because in home we will do. And he told, till you come, I'm not going back. And he continued that way. It was going on and on. And when he started coming to temple, Mangalarti, and he would do some service also, Prabhuji. Okay, I'll do some service also. He started doing service also. And so like that, so many ways he started getting engaged. And after some time, what happened? I don't know when it happened. He actually stayed back. He was actually did not go. And then he eventually wanted Diksha, he took Diksha also. And now he became Anaprastha. And he's preaching to the parents of vegetarianism that you also become Anaprastha. And so if anybody wants to join, so his parents, they meet him. Allow your son to join. So you see, he came with a very strong motive to take his son back. He did not have any money, and he was some government servant. He had habit of smoking, whatever it is. All these things were there. But because he got in association with devotees, he got engaged. And some Vaishnavas got pleased, and he heard the classes also. Because he was there, he was attending Bhagavatam classes, everything. So everything, he got purified. So that is the glory of devotional service. Because it has purifying potency. One gets purified. So the first thing is to come. Now, after coming to devotional service, if somebody is very adamant to hold on to the material attachment, that is wrong. You understand, no? So no matter what motives we have, somebody has come to Krishna, glorious. And then by purifying potential devotional service, we will be purified for sure. But still there is something within that also. Like when we are having that, so much opportunity for purification, one should not hold. Of course, one may be holding on, still there's so much again and again lecture will come. Krishna will arrange, somehow or other one has to give up, that mentality to enjoy, to do business with the Lord. Somehow one has to give up. So one should be also willing. So if he may be unwilling, then to that degree he has to feel frustration also. That's why here he's saying, Krishna says that, Krishna immediately, he says, devotees do not have such desires. However, if a karmi, jnani or yogi somehow contacts a devotee and surrenders devotional service, Krishna immediately awards him love and gives him shelter at his lotus, although he may have no idea how to develop love of Krishna. If a person wants material profit from devotional service, Krishna condemns such materialistic desires. To desire material opulence while engaging in devotional service is foolish. Although the person may be foolish, Krishna, being intelligent, engages him in devotional service in such a way that he gradually forgets material opulence. The point is that we should not try to exchange loving service for material profit. That's what Antadeep also was mentioning, that how one should purify the intention. So if we also do that from our side endeavor, it becomes more nice, more wonderful. Otherwise, we unnecessarily complicate. Krishna is going to help for sure, but we have to also voluntarily, do that from our side. Whether we do today or tomorrow, but we'll do it. So we should be also willing to get purified of this mentality. So that's why, anya vilashita shunyam. Come with the motivation to purify our desires, not to hold on to those desires. So in the beginning, we may be holding on, we might have come, but as we hear from devotees, we hear from Bhagavatam, from pure devotees, then we should be willing to purify ourselves. So that is pure Krishna consciousness. If you are actually surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna, our only desire should be to satisfy Krishna. We have to come to this understanding. That is pure Krishna consciousness. Surrender means not that we demand something from the Lord, but that we completely depend on His mercy. If Krishna likes, He may keep his devotee in a poverty-stricken condition, or if He likes, He may keep him in an opulent position. The devotee should not be concerned in either case. He should simply be very serious about trying to satisfy the Lord by rendering Him service. So, and then we say that how Dhruva Maharaj himself will feel very bad, because he will think that he was looking for a broken piece of glass. So he says, see, whether one has other desires but engages in Lord's service, Krishna forcefully gives one shelter in Lord's feet. You forget all. When someone engages in Lord's service for satisfaction of senses, but instead he acquires a taste for serving Krishna. That's what happened to that Alvar. He gives up his material desires and willingly offers himself as eternal servant of Krishna. So, because the nature of Krishna consciousness is that one will get taste more in devotional program, then one can give up. That's why sometimes we also worry, how will I give up another? How will I give up all my so many material desires? I want to purify my heart, but I'm not able to. How it can happen? The more we are able to experience Krishna, automatically we will be able to. So that's how we should be also very much hopeful. Right now, it may be difficult. No, it may be difficult to give up taking credits, difficult to give up seeking respect, it may be difficult to tolerate. But how we will do it eventually? As we keep engaging in devotional service nicely, as we have more and more higher tests, will come. By Krishna will allow us to experience that if we are sincerely engaging and desiring to purify our heart. Then with that experience of Krishna, we'll be able to easily sing our God. And we can see how devotees eventually become so mature. That happens by the devotion. Then Guru Maharaj, he is saying that instead of I found a most valuable there, I was looking for a broken piece of glass. I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any direction. Such kind of transformation. So, and then he says about how by very good fortune one meets bona fide devotee, and so much glorification is given here about meeting pure devotee. By good fortune one becomes eligible to cross the ocean of nescience, and he gets an opportunity to associate with pure devotees. By such association, one's attraction develops. Then say there are two kinds of sukti, bhakti-unmukhi, bhoga-unmukhi, and moksha-unmukhi. So when we can meet a pure devotee, then actually our bhakti-unmukha sukti increases immediately. And that will lead to our engaging in pure relationships. And he really nice verses. It says, Krishna is situated in everyone's heart as Chatyaguru, the spiritual master within. When he is kind to some fortunate conditions, the person gets some lessons so he can progress in the ocean self, instructing the person as the super soul within and spiritual master without. And that point Prabhupada was progressing purport that how when somebody becomes serious about attaining perfection, then immediately Lord arises. How Narada came to know? Because Lord bestows that help. Because he sees that he is serious. So because of some sincerity and seriousness, we have gone to our perfection. And if we seek and we become more serious and sincere, then through the bona fide master, we get more and more. Krishna will give us more and more. So it is not just we have met, it has to continue more. So we can get benefited more and more the degree we are seeking. I'll just read this last verse. It says, by associating with the devotee, one awakens his faith in devotional service. For the devotional service, one's dormant love for Krishna awakens, and material conditioning comes back in. Yeah, Mahat Kripa Vina is very nice. Mahat Kripa Vina, na Vina Kona Karma Bhakti, na Krishna Bhakti Dure Rahu Samsara Nahi Shaya. Unless one is favored by a pure devotee, one cannot attain the platform of devotional service. To say nothing of Krishna Bhakti, one cannot even relate to the content. Because of his sincerity and determination, Lord said Narad Muni is a great Mahat, and that's how he attained perfection. So I'll pause here. We comment in the section.